All right, what's good, my people, man? This your boy Z the Real here, and right now I'm gonna just cover this. I'm gonna deconstruct Roland Martin in this video, man, because I felt this man was very, very, very disrespectful. Okay, to Marcellus Wiley. He getting on Marcellus Wiley, and he don't even know that there's two sides to every story, right? This man wants to attack Marcellus Wiley, and don't understand why Marcellus Wiley is even talking about Kaepernick the way he is. Okay, now for those that have been watching this, subscribe to this channel, you've been watching my videos, I've telling y'all numerous times already. I'm telling y'all this, right? I've had videos on this. I've shown you why the NFL is actually innocent in that case. The NFL was never really blackballed against Colin Kaepernick. The man had offers already, right? I've given y'all reasons why Kaepernick is not in the league. And it had nothing to do with social injustice, had nothing to do with him taking a knee. Okay? This is what Marcellus Wiley has been calling Kaepernick out on Speak For Yourself. See, I'll tell y'all, man, the reason why people don't like Jason Whitlock is because Jason Whitlock, again, not going to fall for the game. Like Marcellus Wiley is starting to open up to. Marcellus Wiley has figured out already, right? Now, Roland Martin says you want to get on Marcellus Wiley for questioning Kaepernick's blackness. The reason why he's questioning Kaepernick's blackness and him being biracial, because this man, again, was not raised like the rest of us, right? He was not raised like the people like me who was raised in the hood, Roland Martin. I'm going to tell you that now. What Marcellus Wiley is pointing out to is that Kaepernick was adopted, okay? That means his biological parents didn't care for him at all. They gave him up for adoption. We don't know who his real parents is. It's always one of them is white, the other's black, but we don't know who these true identity. This man Kaepernick might not even be a black man. He may just be a Middle Eastern or something like that, man. We don't know who his real parents is. And Marcellus Wiley, you bring up that he was raised in a ghetto in Milwaukee. Milwaukee's a ghetto. Every city got a ghetto and it's got a suburban good side to it, right? It has a nicer side. Kaepernick was not raised in the ghetto. Okay, he was raised in the suburbs. He's raised in the nicer parts of Milwaukee, the other side of the tracks. Okay? Roland Martin, you need to get your facts straight. Since you want to get on Marcellus Wiley, I'm finna deconstruct your behind. Now, Colin Kaepernick was raised by a Caucasian family that was well off. Okay? They took Kaepernick in, they raised him, they gave him everything he wanted and needed. The man went to school, he went to college, right? He was a fraternity brother. He's Kappa Alpha Psi, right? Never once did Colin Kaepernick have this afro, any one of this social injustice. He didn't have this gimmick on when he was in college, when he was in the University of Nevada. You see, Roland Martin, I actually have watched Kaepernick his entire career, right? Different. This guy was completely different. And see, you got to understand this, Roland Martin. Marcellus Wiley is an ex-football player himself, right? This man got intel that you don't have. Okay, Marcellus Wiley is on the inside. He actually has been inside these locker rooms. Marcellus Wiley has talked to some of Kaepernick's ex-teammates. He knows more about Colin Kaepernick than you do. Because Marcellus Wiley, you only know for what they've been telling you, right? But again, Colin Kaepernick has not been raised in the hood like that. Stephon Clark, Eric Gardner, okay, Trayvon Martin, all these guys, right? Most of these guys that have been shot, that's been harassed by these police officers, have all been killed in the ghetto, right? Alistair in New Orleans, right? The man in New York, Eric Gardner, that was in the hood, okay? So what you mean by this is Kaepernick has not been acting like he's really supporting the people. It's been all about him and a paycheck. Because Marcellus Wiley is pointing out to what Kaepernick did in the very beginning, Roland Martin. Because you're another one of these type of Negroes that don't watch football at all. You don't watch the whole thing. You only look at one side of the coin right now. There's two sides to every coin. There's a heads and the tails, right? When Marcellus was talking about Kaepernick pounding, sitting down, is that Kaepernick got mad because he got benched, okay? His team went 2-14. For one, Jim Harbaugh left the season before that. They went 8-8. This man has went from 2 NFC Championship games to then going 8-8 when they moved to Santa Clara, and then going 2-14 with Tom Sula, and then 1-16 with Chip Kelly, right? And out of all those times, man, the team, everybody's been saying the team sucks. No, he sucks too. He takes equal responsibility. So this is what Marcellus was alluding to, right? The fact that Kaepernick ain't really fighting for the people like that. It's all about him not getting a contract, right? Because you know what's crazy? There's been people that's been calling out Colin Kaepernick on the internet, and you ain't addressed none of them, right? Now, Jason Whitlock's not the only one you should have been debating. When Colin Cowherd had called Kaepernick out openly on air, right, and said that Colin Kaepernick, you know what I'm saying, he questioned Colin Kaepernick about why is he now willing to stand for national anthem. You had nothing to say about that, Roland Martin. I know it's you willing to attack the black man, Marcellus, but you ain't attacking Colin Cowherd. Colin Cowherd literally called Kaepernick a hypocrite. Matter of fact, let's do some research, right? Let's do some research. I'm gonna get to John Elway in a little bit. Let's do some research, right? Let me show you something, right? Because again, Roland Martin, I'm not gonna have you disrespect Marcellus Wiley, because I know you'll talk about the brother, right? But let's look at Colin Cowherd. Let's look at this, right? Let's see. Let's see here, man. Let's see. Let's look at this, right? This is the video, right? Let's look at this. You know
my feeling about Colin Kaepernick? I don't believe you bring your politics to work. That's my takeaway. But athletes are empowered. Protests are a part of the American landscape. So last year, Colin Kaepernick took a knee and refused to stand for the national anthem. I said it's certainly not what I would do. I'm not going to bring politics to work. I'm not going to bring a protest sign to the offices of FS1 or Fox Sports or iHeartRadio. And I believe you win together, lose together in sports, celebrate together, and go to the White House together. I think that's what sports is all about. That's how I was raised with sports. You win together, lose together, celebrate together, and are honored together. But I also know that athletes are empowered. So when Colin Kaepernick took a knee, I said, whatevs. I didn't even notice it until the media informed me. And I was one of the few. Most of you were outraged. But it never really bothered me. But I'll tell you what does bother me, this. Colin Kaepernick, what do you know? The story just happens to leak as Colin Kaepernick is now a free agent. From Adam Schefter, Kaepernick no longer wants the past method of protest to detract from the positive change he believes he has created per sources. So Colin Kaepernick now makes sure this story leaks to Adam Schefter, and it could have leaked to anybody. It's not that it's Schefter, it's just I'm giving him credit. So Kaepernick now believes he's made real change, of which that is at best debatable. But now when he's a free agent, now what happened to your altruism? What happened to your, this is long term? What happens to your strong belief? Now that you're on the market and you still want to get paid, Now you won't kneel for the anthem.
Now again, Roland Martin, where was you back then when he came out here and said this statement, right? Where was you then? You see, I know you go hard on the brother, right? But when the Caucasian man talks against Kaepernick, you had nothing to say then. Where was you then, brother? Again, man, y'all gonna wake up and see, realize what I've been trying to talk to y'all about, right? This Negro here, man, this Negro here, Roland Martin, again, he's quick. He'll attack a black man real quick, right? You debated Jason Whitlock on your on one of your shows, right? You actually debated Jason Whitlock. Why you ain't debate Colin Cowherd? I'm gonna tell you why he didn't debate Colin Cowherd, folks, because he would have got attacked by the community. Them Caucasians would have ate him alive. And what I mean by that is he would have gotten so many phone calls and complaints about Colin Cowherd. He ain't gonna dare do that. You see, man, people like Roland Martin here, man, again, man, they hypocrites. They two-faced. Okay? And basically, man, shouts out to Chronicles of Judah, because watching Chronicles of Judah 144 has told me a lot about people like you, Roland Martin. Yes, you, Roland Martin. Chronicles of Judah told me about niggas like you. Niggas like you complain against the white man. You complain that we ain't being treated fairly. You bring up the civil rights. You bring up the 1960s and all this other stuff, right? But in actuality, you just want that hug. You want the white man to beg for your forgiveness. You want him to hug you. You want him to reach his hand out to you. Roland Martin, that's all y'all really want. Roland Martin, because you don't really mean what you say against the white man, because you ain't been doing nothing against him anyway. Yeah, you talk, you do all this, and you do this and that and the other, but we still don't see no change. No, actually, Roland Martin, people like you, again, you just want that hug from the white man. That's just what it is. You want the white man to love you, which he's never going to do. Y'all complain about social injustice, right? Y'all do this and that and the other, but again, we see no change. We see no progress. And this is what Marcellus Wiley alluded to. Kaepernick had no end game. He had no plan. Because again, Roland Martin, as much as you talk against Marcellus Wiley, and as much as Marcellus Wiley has been calling out Colin Kaepernick, what is your solution to the problem? Because again, let's uncheck Roland Martin. The NFL ain't got nothing to do with social injustice. They cannot stop social injustice. That's a government issue. That's a president issue. That's a Congress issue. That's an issue with the mayor. What does that have to do with the game of football? This is why Marcellus Wiley is coming against Kaepernick, because the Kaepernick has been attacking the NFL for no reason. Okay? Yeah, Kaepernick took a knee, but they ain't had nothing to do with fixing the problem. Right? And just like you attack Jay-Z, just like Kaepernick and Nitty attacked Jay-Z. And I'm going to get to Nitty in just a little bit too, because again, she need to be checked. Marcellus Wiley, Jay-Z is trying to help the people, man. Jay-Z was always, you know what I'm saying, was trying to all about fix the problem. But I'm going to tell you why again, why Jay-Z did what he did, right? And this is why I've been saying in my last video about Eric Reed and Kenny Stills. Jay-Z may feel that Kaepernick is not using his platform the way it should be. Because remember, Kaepernick stayed silent for 3 years, which, by the way, you ain't saying nothing against, right? I don't see you getting on Colin Kaepernick's case about that, the much as you get on Marcellus Wiley about not speaking. Kaepernick ain't said nothing in 3 going on 4 years now, right? Again, he will not speak up about the problem that he's protesting about, right? Jay-Z is trying to use his platform to speak up for the people, okay? To basically fight for social justice, right? Something that Kaepernick's really not doing. Jay-Z may actually have a plan. So this is why Jay-Z decided to do what he did, right? Yeah, again, I was kind of questioning Jay-Z about telling other people not to get involved with it, and then he's getting involved with the NFL. But if Jay-Z has a plan to do this, then why not let him? Okay? Roland Martin, did you not listen to my son's YouTube video? Where even he said that Kaepernick didn't tell him nothing, right? When Kaepernick got his settlement, Roland Martin, did he tell you anything? My son, one of the main supporters that was right now with Kaepernick, that was protesting against the NFL, okay? Supporting along with the Justice League and all these other organizations, standing with Black Lives Matter. They didn't told him nothing. They didn't get a phone call by Kaepernick, nothing. Kaepernick didn't, or Eric Reed didn't tell my son nothing. Roland Martin. So I want to question you, did he tell you anything? Okay, so this is why Marcellus Wiley is questioning Kaepernick's blackness, because he's not acting like a real brother. Because real brothers that have really fought for civil rights and fought for social justice, they spoke out, right? Malcolm X spoke out. He used his voice. Muhammad Ali used his voice. Martin Luther King used his voice. Huey P. Newton used his voice, right? These people spoke. They didn't stay quiet and let other people do the talking for them, Roland Martin. So again, how you bringing up other people that did something in the 1960s, yet Kaepernick's not them? How you comparing Colin Kaepernick to Jesse Williams? They two completely different people, right? Because I don't see Jesse Williams getting on his knees trying to beg for a freaking job. With excuse me. When Jesse Williams was released by BET after saying what he said, when he accepted his award like 2 years ago, you don't see Jesse Williams trying to sue BET. You don't see Jesse Williams trying to put collusion against BET. He like, man, BET don't want me no more. That's fine. That's their problem. Jesse Williams didn't call other people sellouts either. He didn't have his wife or his girlfriend call somebody like Ray Lewis or Uncle Tom. And I'm gonna get to that in a little bit too, right? Jesse Williams didn't call other black people sellouts because they were still working for BET. He didn't ask for no boycott or nothing like that. Jesse Williams stayed humble, man, and left it alone, right? So again, this is why Marcellus Wiley is calling Kaepernick out. Even shouts out to Choke No Choke on his YouTube video. He even said it, man, Colin Kaepernick needs to stop this. He didn't grow up. He wasn't raised like everybody else. Roland Martin, you don't understand it. Roland Martin, you attacking Marcellus Wiley because you're not going along with this game that Kaepernick and Nitty was playing. They playing a game right now, Roland Martin. They playing a terrible game. They playing off people's emotions. Kaepernick did what he did to get your sympathy. So you can turn against the NFL, because the NFL now bending to Kaepernick's needs. They ain't going to do what Kaepernick wants him to do. Now he wants you to attack the NFL. This is what this is all about. This man is spreading chaos. It's pure Marxism. And you fall along with the narrative. Because Marcellus Wiley is not going to fall for it, now you hate him, right? Now, Marcellus Wiley says you want to call the NFL scrubs, since you pro-black Negroes like you, okay? You social injustice warriors, you internet revolutionaries want to call the NFL out, right? Here's John Elway with an actual statement. And this is true. Because this man here tried to give Kaepernick an offer just like Pete Carroll, just like Stephen Ross, Kenny Stills' owner, right? Just like the San Francisco 49ers tried to give him a deal, right? And Kaepernick screwed that up, right? Let's look what John Elway has to say.
Well, you know what, and I said this a while ago, and, you know, Colin had his chance to be here. We offered him a contract. He didn't take it. So, you know, and as I said in my deposition, and I don't know if I'm legally able to say this, but You know, he's had his chance to be here.
Now, John Elway is a man that led the Denver Broncos when he was an athlete on the team back in the 1980s and 70s, I believe, into the late 2000s. This man has led this team to 3 Super Bowls, right? I think he went 2 for 1 or 2 for 2. It was 4 or 2 Super Bowls. Either way, this man's a 2-time Super Bowl winner. He defeated Brett Favre, Green Bay Packers, and he defeated the Atlanta Falcons. Which, by the way, you people who say that the football is scripted, right? Who say the Falcons never been to Super Bowl before, y'all don't forgot about Super Bowl 33, right? This man won Super Bowl 33 before he retired, right? This man has won 2 Super Bowls, okay? This man has led the Broncos to 2 Super Bowls, right? With Terrell Davis. This man, again, man, this man has also, as a GM, won a Super Bowl. He put Von Miller together. He got Aqib Talib, C.J. Anderson, okay? He put that team together, right, with Peyton Manning. As a GM, he's won a Super Bowl. So why does this man have to lie about Colin Kaepernick? This man tried to give Colin Kaepernick a chance to be on his Super Bowl winning team. Remember, Roland Martin, they had just defeated the Cam Newton Carolina Panthers, right? Cam Newton, who was off an MVP season where he went 15-1. 15-1. Cam Newton is an MVP, right? Colin Kaepernick ain't never won the MVP, by the way, Roland Martin. Okay? You want to know why Colin Kaepernick not in the league now? Because he's not that good. He's been exposed many times, right? And I got a video showing Colin Kaepernick's stats. He's not that good. But anyways, getting back to the topic. What John Elway is alluding to was during after the 2015 season, right? Just after they beat the Carolina Panthers, Brock Osweiler was gone, right? Peyton Manning retired. He announced his retirement. Brock Osweiler was upset over money because I guess they wasn't going. He wanted some money. He didn't get the money Von Miller wanted. Von Miller deserved to have that money given to him. He was a Super Bowl MVP, but Brock Osweiler got pissed off. I guess John Elway didn't want to pay him no money like that, so he left and went to another team. I think he went to the Texans, right? They was in need of a quarterback because they didn't want to trust Trevor Siemian. They wasn't trying to start Trevor Siemian, right? They drafted Paxton Lynch, but they didn't feel it was right. That was the 2 Caucasian quarterbacks, right? So John Elway tried to trade for Colin Kaepernick. Roland Martin, you want to know why Colin Kaepernick screwed up that deal and didn't take it? Because John Elway wasn't about to pay him the contract he had with the Niners. When the 49ers went 2-14 with Tom Sula, Kaepernick was getting paid $160 million in his contract, max. John Elway said, I'm not about to take Colin Kaepernick for that much money because he hasn't done much. He has to prove himself. Because why would John Elway pay somebody like Colin Kaepernick $160 million, go take the rest of that contract, and he has not performed? The Broncos was coming off a horrible season. They were 2-14, okay? Roland Martin, these are facts. This man don't gotta lie. Because when John Elway made the statement, the NFL was under a lawsuit that Kaepernick put against grievance. Okay? So, had Kaepernick took that to court, John Elway would have came out there with that statement. The Broncos owners would have used Elway's statement against Colin Kaepernick. This is why he settled in and not exposed the NFL, Roland Martin. You need to get your facts straight, brother. Now, okay? Let's get the next nitty. Right? I want y'all to see this. Okay? Let's get the next nitty, man. I want y'all to see this, right? Because this woman here has become a major problem, right? This woman here has not been, again, Roland Martin, you want to know why that Marcellus White is calling Ness Nitty out? This woman is not helping Kaepernick at all. She's been sabotaging Kaepernick. She's actually been doing more damage to Colin Kaepernick right now than helping him, right? Because how you supposed to be supporting Colin Kaepernick, and yet you got a man like Ray Lewis now. By the way, Ray Lewis is one of the most influential players we've had, right? This man has literally done a whole lot for black people, right? This is the same Ray Lewis that before this protest started, this man, well, again, this man donated millions of dollars into the city of Baltimore to help the youth, right? That's what Ray Lewis has done, right? For his people. Again, Ray Lewis has mentored thousands of athletes, young men, okay? Now, Ray Lewis was trying to help Colin Kaepernick get signed to the Baltimore Ravens when Joe Flacco was injured, right? Ray Lewis was in the meeting explaining to Steve Bashar that we should use Kaepernick. Kaepernick deserves to have at least another opportunity to prove himself, right? They was going to sign Colin Kaepernick to a contract for him to basically earn a spot and become the starter while Joe Flacco was covering injuries, right? Now, while they were in the midst of that, next thing you're going to send this out, right? Now, if you supposed to be a Muslim woman, you supposed to be an Egyptian woman, how are you calling a black man a house slave? Explain that, right? I want you to look at this picture, Roland Martin. Look at this here, man. Why is there a picture of Samuel L. Jackson and Leonardo DiCaprio compared to Ray Lewis and Steve Buscemi? Why? Because again, this is how Nitty feels. She feels all these owners are slave masters, right? Ray Lewis didn't have to lie. Ray Lewis tried to help him. Matter of fact, let's go with the details, right? Let's look at Ray Lewis. Since you say Marcellus Wiley's lying, this is everything Marcellus alluding to, right? Let's look at Ray Lewis, right? This is what he had to say. This is, again, these guys don't have to lie. Ray Lewis is an honest man. I'm going to show you, Roland Martin. I do my research.
Now is our NFL insider. That would be senior writer for NFL.com, Judy Batista. And folks, we all know during the offseason, football players have generated plenty of headlines, both good and bad. That leads us to this discussion, and we're calling this the responsibility of an NFL athlete. And Judy, when I think about athletes taking a proactive stance for things off the field, it's usually under the category of stick to sports. That's the attitude that most in the public have. Your thoughts about that, particularly when you look at J.J. Watt, who's using that platform for good. He was aiming to raise how much money?
$200,000 is what it started.
And
by the way, Roland, a lot of these athletes really do care, right? Now, that's J.J. Watt helping out Houston, right, during them floods. So you can't say the NFL is bad, Roland Martin. You really can't. They do care. Okay? But let's continue.
The time we're doing this show, it is at?
Just past 20 million.
Contrasting that with Colin Kaepernick expressing his First Amendment rights and the reaction to that. Your thoughts?
Well, obviously, nobody would suggest that J.J. Watt should be sticking to sports right now. He is doing remarkable work for Houston. I guess the question I have, and I'd be curious to hear what you guys think about it, is if you say that it's great that J.J. Watt is using the platform to blast the megaphone onto an issue that he cares about and that he thinks deserves our attention, can you then turn around and criticize Colin Kaepernick for using his platform to get attention on an aspect of society that he thinks needs attention?
So let me ask you this, when you talk about what J.J. Watt is doing. So if an athlete, whether it was Jackie Robinson, whether it was Muhammad Ali, whether it was Jim Brown and the black athletes in '67 gathering in Cleveland, if in fact they feel that which they are protesting or trying to bring some attention to is a significant matter that is beyond just them, should they not be citizens of this country and speak to that aside from the fact, irrespective of the fact that they're athletes?
Look, let's be clear about this. There's no way Colin Kaepernick would have gotten as much attention onto the issue of police brutality if he had done it away from the field, if he had held a press conference. Kneeling for the national anthem or sitting during the national anthem got all of the cameras and got all of the attention on it. If that's what he wanted to do, which is what he did want to do, he was successful.
No, he could have did it off the. That's the only thing I agree with. He could have did it off the field. But let's continue.
No freedom from consequence. I think we know that. He's got his right to do whatever he wants. There's going to be consequences. I have to admit that as a reporter, I'm startled that he has not been signed. I have been told ever since I started covering the NFL that talent wins out. We've seen teams take chances on a lot of unsavory characters. The fact that this is what has tipped over and they can't come to grips with signing a guy who has kneeled for the national anthem, but you've signed guys who have had enormous legal issues, and they've been embraced by teams and they've been embraced by fans. I find that curious.
Judy, have you even spoken to Colin Kaepernick in the last 6 months? Who has?
See, again, Roland Martin, who has spoken to Colin Kaepernick? Colin Kaepernick ain't spoke to nobody. Now, you see these people care about him getting a job, but he ain't spoke to nobody. So, Roland Martin, if he ain't spoke to none of these people, he ain't spoke to even my son, he ain't spoke to nobody, that means he ain't really been talking to these owners. The owners have been trying to reach him, and that's thing has been blocking. Okay? Nitty's been trying to run this whole organization, right? Nitty is the one controlling him. She's his handler, right? She's not been helping him at all. But let's continue.
So, nobody has. And
Maybe you have.
Yeah, no, and to your point, when me and Steve Bisciotti was talking, this is what we're talking about, Judy. We're talking about giving this kid an opportunity to get back in the National Football League. Look, this is what I wanted to share with people. I have been fighting for this kid behind the table like nobody has. Nobody had this kid a job in the National Football League. I can raise my hand and say I did. I've never been against Colin Kaepernick, but I am against the way he done it. And I think this is where we should get, Boomer. I can disagree with how he did it. That should be perfectly fine. But then his girl goes out and puts out this racist gesture and doesn't know.
To be clear, whose girl? Whose lady?
Colin Kaepernick. That she doesn't know. We're in the back office about to try to get this guy to sign. Steve Bisciotti has said himself, how can you crucify Ray Lewis when Ray Lewis is the one calling for Colin Kaepernick?
So again, Roland Martin, how you gonna condone Roland Martin? How you gonna condone that type of behavior by Colin Kaepernick's woman? Yet you wonder why Colin Kaepernick's still not being signed, because the NFL not gonna tolerate that kind of behavior. They just not. They're not going for it, brother. Again, this is what you gotta understand. You know what I'm saying? The reason why Marcellus Wiley is coming at Colin Kaepernick the way he is because of those type of issues. Roland Martin. It's those type of issues. It's that right there is why Colin Kaepernick's not being signed. This is what Marcellus Wiley is pointing Colin Kaepernick out. How you a black man, yet you gonna call another black man that's trying to help you. And again, when Nitty put that tweet out, Colin Kaepernick never once apologized to Ray Lewis at all. Never. Okay? Nitty got black folks calling Ray Lewis a coon, calling him Uncle Tom, making death threats, threatening to take down a statue. Ray Lewis has done nothing at all but try to help the man. And you condone that type of behavior. Again, Roland Martin, this is your hero, right? So this is why Marcellus Wiley is calling Colin Kaepernick Nitty out, right? This is the same Nitty that had the nerve to call Travis Scott, right? The same Travis Scott that made a deal with the NFL, said, I'll perform in Super Bowl 53 if you donate to my cause, which the NFL did. They donated to Travis Scott's cause that he was basically fundraising for. She also called Big Boy from Outkast. Big Boy, who's an icon in the hood. An icon in rap hip-hop, right? An icon, right? Man is from the ATL. She gonna call Big Boy a freaking sellout. She called Gladys Knight a sellout. Roland Martin, how is that gonna help Colin Kaepernick? These people are not against him. Yes, she's attacking them. Why? Because they won't do what she wants them to do, right? Nitty wants to act like she's the queen bee. Okay, Roland Martin? In Nitty's eyes, she's taking this over. She's the head honcho. Again, she got this man literally, man. Whipped. Colin Kaepernick's weak. She's putting a battery in his brain. She's telling him what to do and what to say. Nitty wants to run this. It's all about her, right? And see, Kaepernick is hiding behind her because he ain't apologizing. He ain't saying nothing. Why? Because this is how Colin Kaepernick feels. So the fact that she gonna call Gladys Knight, who's old enough to be her mama, right? The same Gladys Knight that done been around James Brown, Barry Gordy, Motown, okay, the Temptations, all these icons, right? The same Gladys Knight that's literally, man, has experienced worse situations than what, you know what I'm saying, what Colin Kaepernick's going through, right? Again, she gonna call that woman a freaking sellout, an icon, right? A legend, right? That's not helping Colin Kaepernick's case. Again, Roland Martin, the NFL is innocent, okay? Marcellus Wiley is calling Kaepernick out for all this, right? And again, Kaepernick did settle out, right? He settled with the NFL, right? And he didn't tell nobody nothing. He didn't tell nobody how much money he made. And matter of fact, the money he got from the settlement, is he really putting that towards putting these officers behind bars that's been killing innocent people out there on the streets, Roland Martin? That's what we need to ask ourselves. You need to ask yourself that question. Okay? What has Kaepernick really been doing against police brutality? Because last time I checked, he's supported by George Soros, right? The same George Soros that's an international banker, right, that got millions amongst billions of dollars, right? The same George Soros that could give black folks more black-owned banks, right? He could give black folks more jobs in the community. The same George Soros that could fix up the hood and put more recreational centers, put more schools, make it easier for black folks to go to school, right? The same George Soros that can give black people our own police force like the Jews have, right? Their own defense system. The same George Soros that can literally give black folks an army. right? The same George Soros that could put these officers that put people like these officers that killed Stephon Clark, that killed Eric Gardner behind bars. He could find the person who lynched the Ferguson protester son in St. Louis last year, right? That's the same George Soros that could do this for black folks. He ain't doing nothing. He don't plan to do nothing for y'all. Yet that's who Kaepernick's supporting, right? That's who supports Colin Kaepernick. Again, Roland Martin, you basically, you're part of this liberal agenda that I'm not going to fall for. That's why I'm calling you out. Marcellus Wiley is innocent. No, the reason why you in your feelings is this man is going to call out your idol, right? You worship behind Colin Kaepernick. He's your hero. You deifying Colin Kaepernick, right? So this is why you attacking him like you attacking Jason Whitlock. Jason Whitlock, no, he ain't athletic, right? He never played sports like that. Like your out of shape fat ass hasn't, right? Roland Martin, you in last 5 minutes out there on the football field. Yeah, you are on record calling these NFL players scrubs, right? You have the nerve to call the NFL white ball, right? They white ball Colin Kaepernick, yet Colin Kaepernick has played like a scrub in his last 3 seasons. This man, when the 49ers moved to Santa Clara, had Jason Garrett, had Jim Harbaugh looking like Jason Garrett. We did an 8-8. Colin Kaepernick was looking like Tony Romo out there, man. Don't give me that. Don't get at Marcellus Wiley, okay? But again, Roland Martin, Colin Kaepernick needs to be checked. Yes, he needs to be put on blast. So this is why they question any blackness. Because Nitty is not acting like a black woman at all. She ain't. She ain't a real black woman. And that's another thing, Roland Martin, too. You need to get your facts straight. Because this man here got intel. Marcellus Wiley, again, he's inside these locker rooms. He's talking to these owners. He know more about the situation than you do. Roland Martin, you told what you doing what they tell you to, right? Because Roland Martin, we all know you collect a paycheck by these same people that's backing him, right? This liberal organization, they cutting you a paycheck to talk about Marcellus Wiley. I know Nitty and Kaepernick probably put you up to it, right? Because again, where was you when Colin Kaepernick was calling out, right? Where was you when Ray Lewis was being called, you know what I'm saying, that racial term, right? A house slave. Where was you then, right? Where was you when Stephen Ross decided to turn down Kaepernick because he was wearing a Fidel Castro shirt? Which, by the way, is very offensive to the Cuban community in Miami. Matter of fact, Roland Martin, if you know anything about Cuba, most of them fled to the States to escape Fidel Castro because Fidel Castro was mass murdering them. Far worse than what we going through out here in America. What these officers are doing to black folks, Fidel Castro did far worse to the Cubans. But again, Roland Martin, you don't know this because you don't pay attention. You don't watch football. Okay? So in other words, Colin Kaepernick supports communism, which is not going to be tolerated by the NFL. Because had Stephen Ross signed him then, and he wearing that Fidel Castro shirt, he would have suffered a lot of heat. That would have hurt Stephen Ross, the owner of the Miami Dolphins, because you would have had a lot of Cubans going against him, going out there on strike, right? So again, and notice, Kenny Stills didn't say nothing about that then, right? So why is he calling out his owner now? And look at Eric Reed, right? How you gonna condone Eric Reed gonna go out